There's a storm coming, and you guys don't even know it. Tank versus Frank. This is a real one. Both fighters look insanely focused and dialed in. You don't even know what you're in for, and I can't wait. Tank versus Frank. Hit me. Gervonta Davis, aka Tank, aka Abdul Wahid, and Frank Martin both continue to go back and forth. There's been no official announcement for the fight, but a storm is brewing between Tank and Frank. Amazon Prime, PBC. It looks like they have some tricks up their sleeve, and I can't wait. This is going to be a banger. Both guys look insanely, and I do mean insanely focused. Tank Davis, I'll do an Ego Weight Watchers video. If you want, type the word Ego Weight Watchers, and I'll make the Tank Ego Weight Watchers, and then I'll make one for Frank Martin. If enough of you people put that particular phrase, Ego Weight Watchers, in the comment, I'll scan through the comments, and if enough people say Ego Weight Watchers, I'll make the video about both of them. But I've seen little snippets, videos, pictures. Both guys are in shape. Now, regarding the back and forth that you've seen at the beginning of this video, Gervonta says, I don't know nothing about nothing, but somebody is gonna sleep soon. So, I mean, that would be crazy. Gervonta Davis, we know he has power. Frank Martin has never been beaten, let alone put to sleep by anyone. Frank Martin says, the ish gonna go the whole opposite way, my dog. And he put like a smirk. Gervonta Davis says, you want to go night night, ninja? Everybody go night night, ninja. Clearly, this is from the Kevin Hart joke. Frank Martin says that I ain't none of them. Meaning, like, I ain't them other dudes that you fought. You dealing with something different. Frank Martin, Black American fighter. Great gym, Derek James's gym. Stablemates like Jermell Charlo, Errol Spence, so you know he learned stuff there. He has some slickness. He has explosiveness. And again, he's a southpaw. Gervonta Davis, a fan, commented and says, if Gervonta KOs Frank Martin, I'm dead. He surpasses Canelo as the face of boxing. Tank Davis said, I already did. Now, Frank Martin said, I'm a Craig if you thinking you Debo. And Gervonta Davis says, try me like you stupid. Frank Martin says, I am. The fight hasn't even been officially announced, people. And they're already at each other's throats. They're already talking that good talk. And like I said, I can't wait. Amazon Prime, I hope they have some surprises. Tank Davis, one thing I know is he's a bona fide star, superstar in boxing. We last seen him in the ring versus Ryan Garcia. I've made several recent videos about Ryan Garcia. Unfortunately, based on what Ryan Garcia has been doing, very few, if any, of those videos have anything, and I do mean anything, to do with boxing. They're these random, bizarre rants that Ryan Garcia is going through and using his social media, but you guys can check those on the channel. I am truly concerned for Ryan Garcia. Here's a picture of Ryan Garcia. he made this pact, and it was such a weird pact. He looks disheveled. He looks like disturbed. He's been putting some very concerning and disturbing things on his social media, and he's gearing up for a Devin Haney fight. Now, Tank already beat Ryan Garcia. I had no problem whatsoever with the Devin Haney fight. However, how Ryan Garcia is acting, I mean, he's wearing a Jesus thorn crown. I mean, what are we talking about? So based on these antics from King Rye, aka Ryan Garcia, doing all this extra stuff has just left me with a sour taste. Now, it's not Devin's fault. Devin Haney's doing what he does, training hard as a consummate professional. But I'm being real. The fight with Ryan Garcia, he's kind of turning me off. As of me recording this video, you know, he's made this pact and promise that he's not going to tweet none of this weird stuff that he's been tweeting, bizarre, peculiar things. He's saying that he's going to focus only on boxing, and somebody must have gotten his ear and told him, yo, you got to cut this out. If you're trying to fight Devin Haney, the whole world's thinking you're potentially crazy, on drugs. Fame, clicks, viewership, impressions, these things are all good, but you don't want to OD on fame, you know? But back to Frank Martin and Gervonta Davis. I can already see it. And again, I didn't have a problem with Devin Haney versus Regis Prograis. That was the WBC fight. I actually went to that fight. Devin schooled him and beat him easy. I didn't even have a problem with Ryan Garcia, despite him losing to Gervonta Davis. I had no problem with Devin Haney getting that fight. But Ryan Garcia, his antics, it's just left me kind of blase blah. Now, if he would have promoted the fight like a normal person, then there wouldn't be no issues. But he hasn't. So I'm actually looking forward more, for me, to Tank and Frank, because that's a great lightweight fight. Frank Martin's brolic, great gym, as I mentioned. You already hear how they're talking, and they haven't even actually announced the fight to the public. It's still, quote unquote, a rumor. And I think they respect each other deep down inside. They're both Southpaws, but they both have bad intentions. So this could very well be a war. It sounds like the way they're talking that both of them are gonna try to maximize this opportunity. And this ain't just a cash grab. Like, again, Devin Haney fight with Ryan Garcia, had no issues with it, but Ryan is turning it into some other things, and some of which I can't even repeat on this video for sake of demonetization on this particular video if I talk about some of the things, the wickeds that Ryan Garcia is talking about. So I'm not really here for the extra antics and the circus. Either he needs help or he's ready to fight, whatever. But between that and this being more of a meaningful fight, and I already know the buildup won't be plagued with the same problems that Ryan has introduced to the Devin Haney fight. And that's just my honest opinion, you know? But they're both around, like, close. They're talking about this fight for June, mid-June. Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia in the higher division, 140, is slated to take place in April 20th. So Gervonta Davis, the face of boxing, I look forward to his return. Again, he beat Ryan Garcia, had some legal issues that kept him out of the ring. Frank Martin, his last fight was pretty tough. He fought an Olympian, Artem Harutyunyan, and some people made a bigger deal of that particular performance. I thought Frank Martin clearly won that fight, but he did have some struggles, which is to be expected when you fight Olympians in boxing. So he did have some issues early on, but he adjusted. And the thing is, even the early rounds where he was losing, it was because his opponent, Artem, was far more active and he had more volume with his punches. Frank Martin is like strategic, so he's almost waiting for the perfect moment waiting for the perfect opportunity to counter. And that's what was making it interesting in the first half. But Derrick James was like, yo, give me some more, punch some more, you know, jab, jab, punch. Like, basically instilled some fear and urgency in him. And then that's when Frank Martin started to pick it up. And then he almost stopped Artem Harutna, especially in the final round. So he definitely made the adjustment. Now, as far as Tank and Frank, I have nothing negative to say about either fighter. Frank Martin impressed me with Michel Rivera, who was being kind of compared for his looks mostly to Muhammad Ali, but he had a good thing going, failed and popped dirty on a drug test, and Frank Martin had already beat him and before that was revealed. So that was a very impressive win. And even the Artem Harutnyan, I was impressed with Frank Martin's work there. Tank Davis, it goes what I was saying. He's a superstar. He's a stud. I've been impressed with a lot of his performances in the past. Two Southpaws, two dangerous guys. In my opinion, this could be this generation's Mayweather versus Zab Judah-esque fight. The only difference is it's in today's time with this generation, and both guys are Southpaw, as opposed to Mayweather being primarily an orthodox fighter, Zab Judah being the Southpaw. So this could be a shootout, and both guys are explosive. Both guys have powerful approaches to, you know, breaking down opponents, athleticism. I'm really tapped in for this fight. And then you can already sense the tension. And I don't know how to describe it, but these types of fights are my favorite types of fights, where it's a boxer puncher with power. I don't like just like a mindless brawler who just keep coming forward nonstop. That gets boring to me. You know, of course I like a good action fight, but if nobody's thinking and they're just like rock'em sock'em robots and both guys suck defensively completely, you know, that's not as fun. You know, certain wars, because like even if it's like Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales, that's not mindless action. They have technique to their offense, right? So I'm not talking about fights like that. I'm talking about where it's just like, you know, almost like a street fight, because neither guy has defense, so they're just trying to, both fighters are trying to land big. I don't really prefer that. These are the types of fights that I like, because both guys are dangerous. It's like an aggressive and faster paced chess match, right? It's not like just some boxer who has to win on points because they have no power and you can't hurt their opponent, but they're good boxers. This is, both guys have power in both hands. Both guys have speed. Both guys can hurt you out of nowhere. Explosive. That's the quintessential high-speed chess match. Let me know what you guys think. Subscribe for more videos. Tank versus Frank already heating up.